All right, we're live. Welcome to Nascar Live Chat with Hamm the Engine Man. And I'm going to have a phone-in guest today, Hut Stricklin, our buddy Hut Stricklin over in, I guess you consider that Mount Ola, North Carolina, which is about 15 minutes away from where I live up here in Statesville. And today I've got Tracy on with me. And is that an echo right here back there, Tracy? Is that mine or yours?
It's not me.
Not yours. Not mine. It's probably mine. All right. There we go. Now we got our phones turned down and we can pay attention to our friends right here, our NASCAR friends. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I see Tom Robinson, Terry Quinn, Scott Trevison down in Daytona. How's the boat going down there, Scott? I bet it's real nice. Terry Quinn out in Oklahoma. Tom is in Indiana. I think Linton up there in that direction. All right, so I just had my radio show, my Monday Country Ham Jam, right here on 92.9 and 550 WAME. If you don't know me, my name is David Hamm, 25-year NASCAR engine builder, recently retired. Actually, it's almost been a year ago already, and owner of Hamscapes.
May 31st.
May the 31st was my last day working for NASCAR. And so I started my own landscaping business actually several years ago. I think I'm in my 4th year now. And I do equipment repair and restorations and all that good stuff. So you can find me on dhamim.com, on the Facebooks, Twitter, Instagram. It's all pretty much dhamim, and that's 2 M's. And also on my podcast with Hamm the Engine Man. And I'm about to do a newly revamped podcast now that I've got some good working microphones and having guests, and I'm actually having phone-in guests now too. And as I mentioned before, Hut Stricklin is going to be calling in here any minute, probably about 2 minutes away, I would say.
I'm struggling.
Thereabouts. So can you hear okay, Tracy?
I can hear you good.
All right.
I'm just trying to wrap my legs up.
Oh, are you cold in? It's
64 degrees in the studio.
Okay, well actually,
64.
in here it's a little bit warm to me because we got all these computers and stuff going. So this is a room where all the action happens. There's a big tower out the back, but this is called a computer called Simeon, where we run the music. It just runs by itself. Once you put it in automation, I can play songs off of this computer over here. I can play Spotify and all that stuff. So, all right. So when Hut calls in, if y'all have any questions, you can put them down below, and hopefully Tracy will pick those up, and I can look at them myself here on my little trusty phone.
I need to be in Florida.
But yeah, I think Tracy's getting the Florida the bug to head down to the Flow Ride. So we may have to go down there. Actually, we're planning a trip.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks away? I thought it was 2
3
weeks. Oh man, that's a bummer. 3 whole weeks. Hopefully we'll be able to travel by at that point. So all right, we got a call coming in. Hello, Hut Stricklin. Oh man, I'm just having a big time here in the WAME studio. Well, we're on we're not on we're on YouTube. We're not actually on the air. But how you been doing? You can't hear. Oh, okay. Yeah, man, I hear that. Tracy's telling me to turn up so she can hear you. Tracy's here too.
Hey, Hut. Yep. I'm good.
Yeah, we got.
With Mike Huel, right?
He said a week or two ago, so that could have been last week or the week. Did we have a special guest? Oh. Oh, I hear you, man.
Time flies.
Oh, how's everything on the home front? Oh yeah, we're doing really good. For some reason they're on YouTube. They're saying they can't hear you. I'm not sure. I had that figured out earlier today, and I had it working, so I'm not really sure what's happened there. What? Yeah. Let me see if I can figure this out right quick. Yeah, man, we've been real busy. I started get back to doing some landscaping and stuff, and working in my shop. I've had a lot of mowers coming in here lately. It's been keeping me real busy. Yeah. So you're over at. Oh, you got that right. Yeah, I'm actually enjoying myself I'm actually really enjoying myself doing what I'm doing. Um, yeah. So yeah, I sure do, man. Um, so I'm sure most of the people know you, and but if you want to tell a little bit about yourself and your driving career and that stuff, while I'm trying to get this audio figured out. Yeah. All right, good deal, Hud. I'm still trying to work on the volume here. I don't know what now I'm getting a little bit of a beep into my headphones, but man, I don't know. I did a test earlier today, and I had all this working. So for some reason now, I think once they replay the video back, they'll be able to hear you. But unfortunately, I'm not able to they're not able to hear you right now. But I think we got some questions here. Well, we got a lot of people on here with us, and they're saying, "Hey, Hut."
They hear the beep too.
They hear the beep. Yeah, it's not beeping anymore, right? Okay.
All right, let's see if they can hear it.
Okay, you can try that. All right, there you go. Tracy's putting her. I know it's like the guy, the Verizon guy up here. Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, so well, how's Pam doing? Oh man, that's bad. So Hud's basically saying that his daughter got in a four-wheeler accident, and but she's doing better. Actually, Tom Robinson's he's tuned in too, and he was telling me something about that, but I hadn't heard about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure, man. Those four-wheelers can definitely be dangerous.
You punctured a lung.
Oh yeah, I had a collapsed lung in mine when I got basically I flipped in West Virginia and then the four-wheeler landed right on top of me. So yeah, that was a bad deal. Yeah, I was in the hospital for 4 days, but I did recover obviously. But I didn't realize I had a collapsed lung whenever I went to the hospital, and then I was like, well, I went to the hospital because I couldn't hardly breathe, and they told me I had a collapsed lung. They were going to have to stick a tube in my chest to get it to open back up. So. Yes, so fortunately she's good, and let us know if you need anything. But yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yep, sounds like it. Well, Hud, I'm gonna have to let you go because we can't hear you on the computer here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to get this deal figured out, and then we'll get back with you maybe next Monday if you're around. Um, yeah. Well, I appreciate you calling, man, and just really good talking to you.
I do my best.
Yeah, that's right. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later, man. Thanks.
Thanks, Hut.
See you. Bye. You too. All right, everybody. So sorry about that. I guess next time we do this, I did a test earlier today and I had it figured out. I even took a picture of the board, had everything. So I don't even know. I'm totally confused now. I had it playing in my phone in the other room and I had a calling in. So you got me on this one. So that's just part of it. But I'm going to get with our engineer whenever we move into the new studio. I'm going to have all this stuff figured out. But basically, I was talking about his daughter got into a four-wheeling accident, and she had knocked out some of her teeth and that kind of stuff. But he's been doing good. He's really busy working on selling his house and things like that. So if you know anybody that's got, I believe it's a couple million, know anybody that's got that laying around, and they want to buy that house, that would help Hut out tremendously.
Change.
Yep, there you go. But thanks. I still got a lot of stuff to talk about NASCAR, so y'all throw your questions this way. And we did try River Rat. We tried putting Tracy's headphones onto the mic. The problem with part of that is sometimes you get the back feed from the. That's why the beeping was probably from the microphones. Like whenever I put these in front of the mic, it makes a. Did that make a noise? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Anyway, it tends to do that. So sorry about that. We'll get these technical things figured out. It gets frustrating, but that's all right. So the breaking news as of this evening was that NASCAR will follow the CDC guidelines and be out 8 weeks. So I'm not sure if y'all heard that news yet, but they're going to be out 8 weeks starting right now. So that's yes.
From what I've read, they do plan to make the races up.
Yes, they do, and that's the other thing I want to mention that. But right quick, like Janice says, Hut has a really cool barn for parties. Yes, we have got we've been over there and had he has a nice karaoke.
Fish fry.
Yes, fish fry and a nice big karaoke area, and where actually there's a stage set up, and I like being up there and we had kind of this computer you can play songs and you had one of these boards and I could control it, and that was a lot of fun. So hopefully maybe we'll have us another party before he ends up selling his place. That'd be good. But,
has bathrooms too.
Yes, he has the bathroom and stuff. Lots of coolers and lots of good food over there.
And a bar.
Tom's asking, Hamm, can you tell us about this engine package that may be changing soon and how all that works? Well, basically the engine package is that there's a contract with the current V8 engine that lasts through this year, I believe it is, and it expires after this year. So NASCAR can go and change the engine package. They could actually switch to a V6 if they'd like to, but they're probably going to end up running, my opinion, and I know Tom agrees with me on this, that Coyote engine, there's like a double overhead cam V8 that we're running in that, or Ford's running, and they got a heads up on this. They run in that the Mustang route right now, and that's probably the engine that they're going to end up switching to. But I know over at Roush H Engines, they have been running that engine for several years now, at least, probably 3, 4, 5, and it's just developed over time. You know, they also have that V6 engine they run in the old GT40s. That's the V6 aluminum block. I got an opportunity to work on some of all that stuff before I ended up retiring from NASCAR, as I mentioned last year in April. April 1st was my first day not. And where is Hut? Moving to probably down to the Florida way, somewhere down there. Who knows?
Alabama.
Yeah, I know.
Alabama.
Well, I know. I'm just, you know.
That's where he's from, Alabama.
I know. I just didn't know if it's official yet. Like if he's, you know what I mean? We're
guessing.
He is from Alabama down that way, so he's down from the. I know one day he'd like to end up in the Florida area. So the plan for NASCAR is to return May the 7th and the 8th at Martinsville, and to plan to make up any missed races through off weekends, racing during the Olympics and possibly midweek. So we will see if they get back in there, and they intend to run all 36 races with future rescheduling soon. Since there was no race in Atlanta Sunday, fans and people of NASCAR had a day of iRacing at a virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. Have any of you ever watched any of the iRacing stuff? So this is crazy it's nuts over here. Yes, no TP.
Same here.
Has everybody got their stock of toilet paper? And
I was thinking of something while you were talking about the Olympics.
Oh, is that right?
Are they gonna have the Olympics?
You know, that's a good question.
Is it supposed to be what? China?
Well, yeah, and I've heard them mention that, or I've heard them say the president wants to move it to an off year. I mean, like next year, 2021, you know, which would be an odd year. But I think if in this case, that might be the smart thing to do. Because I believe it's already, this coronavirus going around, it's already kind of passed over in those countries. They're already, you know, getting back to normal from what I understand. Let's say China.
There's a website that the guy I work with gave me, and it shows all the stats up to date.
Okay. So it tells you where the coronavirus is
most affected, how many deaths, how many sick, how many have recovered.
Yeah. I know Italy was hit pretty hard, but I think that they're actually, they're mostly an older group of people, obviously. So I think that's probably, you know, it tends to affect the older people more. Young people don't, they get it, but I think they're more like a host. They can spread it, but they're not really dying from it. It's mostly the older people.
Same as the flu.
Yeah, basically so. So this Stephen Mosley, is that D'Lo? Stephen.
I believe so.
Part of D'Lo. She says, please have the racing, not the Olympics. Sweet baby NASCAR. I know you are missing the NASCAR now. So there's the iRacing thing we're talking about. So the replacements 100. It's a 100 lap race. Has players like players in the game like Josh Williams, who is Ryan Blaney's spotter, William Byron, and TJ Majors, Joe Logano's spotter, Parker Klingerman, Dale Jr., Boa Wallace, and let's see, Chase Briscoe was in it, Justin Haley, Harrison Burton, Chad Canals, Justin Allgaier, Alex Bowman, Kevin Hamm. So if y'all ever done any iRacing kind of stuff, I actually used to have the steering wheel with my computer, and that is such a good time because, you know, if you wreck, you don't get hurt, and you know, you tend to have.
That's one game I didn't do good at.
Yeah, you can definitely. It takes a little bit of a skill, I guess. And it's actually
a real car I can drive.
Well, yeah, and it is a lot different than driving a real car, that's for sure. I don't know, some of the current race car drivers, NASCAR drivers, actually got their start doing the iRacing because it actually helps with your hand-eye coordination and your, you know,
small muscles.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So, let's see, the winner was Josh Williams. He won, and William Byron finished second. So I can see those guys being as competitive as they are, getting mad at, you know, you wrecked me or you did whatever. So that's that. At the end of the 2020 season, a quarter of the Cup drivers will be free agents. So do y'all know who the free agents will be? The biggest name of those free agents is, drum roll, who is it, Tracy?
You got me.
The biggest free agent at the end of the 2020 season is Brad Keselowski.
Oh, okay. I wasn't really focused on the question too hard.
Yeah, so Scott Harrison says there is a iRace tomorrow at 9 p.m. So Brad has been with Penske since 2009 and won the team their first Xfinity and Cup Series titles. Brad has more races for Penske than anyone else who has driven for Penske. And despite the history, there have been rumors of him looking elsewhere, one being a replacement for Jimmy Johnson when he retires. Nothing has been reported, so it is just rumors. And I know I had gotten a message from someone who is a pretty decently reliable source. He doesn't work in the NASCAR, but he's pretty smart kid, I guess you could say. And he said that he was going to replace Jimmy Johnson, so I'm not really sure. Jenna says some of the race shops have been closed as well. And I'm actually I think I have a list of some of the things going on there. So in some of the NASCAR news, I believe that's in one of my pages. Congratulations to Landon Castle and his wife Katie. They welcomed their newest boy, Arlo Alistar Banjo Castle. Well, that's a mouthful. AABC.
Is that on the birth certificate?
That I'm not sure about. It's a good question, though. And congratulations also to Corey and Kelly LaJoy on the birth of their son, Levi Ronnie LaJoy. And congratulations to Kyle and Morgan and Overton Petty on their recent announcement that they are expecting a baby in August.
Oh, how sweet.
Yes, you saw the pictures of Overton there, and his shirt had something like I'm moving, or Big Brother, graduating, whatever, something to Big Brother, so that was kind of neat.
Somebody asked, how do you watch iRacing?
There is, I know a lot of times people put it on YouTube, and they'll put it on Facebook Live, and they'll do iRacing. Like,
so is it iRacing.com or something?
Well, that's a good question. You can look on here and see if you see it.
Scott's probably got the link.
Yeah, he said there was a race tomorrow. So as you all know, Ryan Newman suffered a bruise to the brain. It knocked him unconscious, and there's part of the race he doesn't remember. Still not certain as to when he will return. And he was on the what was that show? He was on, like the Today Show or something. It was Wednesday morning, I believe it was. He was on that show and talked about it. You can go back on YouTube and watch it. That's exactly what I did. But it was, he's just happy to be alive because.
Of course.
Yes, because LaJoy's car, the way that it hit, the car hit his seat. And I'm assuming it hit like the side of his seat.
Not only alive, but walking as well.
Yeah, you got that right. Especially with a bruised brain, if it got that close to his brain. So March the 11th marked the 19 years since Kevin Harvick won the emotional win at Atlanta for Richard Childress Racing in just his third race for the team after the death of Dale Earnhardt Sr. in Daytona, February 18, 2001. And on this day, March 16, 2003, Ricky Craven beat Kurt Busch by 0.002 two-thousandths of a second at Darlington Raceway, which I believe that was one of the closest finishes of all time. So River Rat says, isn't it like watching someone else play a video game? Yes, pretty much. That's exactly what it's like. And it can be interesting. There's a lot of people making a lot of money on YouTube by watching people play video games, not just racing. I don't know I've heard of anybody doing the iRacing and making a lot of money off of it, but I suppose it would be possible, especially right now. You could capitalize on it if there not being a NASCAR race. You're making your own race. I got together, there's a bunch of guys that work over at Rouse Shake Engines, and we were kind of racing each other, but I had the old steering wheel. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying you do have to have the latest, greatest.
Technical difficulties, of course.
Yeah, of course. I always have that, it seems. Mm-hmm. But yes, maybe Scott can share that link. But Jana says, I spoke to one of my contacts at JGR today and was told that they were currently closed. I was kind of wondering what would it be like right now if I were working in racing if I were still at Rouse H Engines.
I do have a comment. If one of your old workmates from Rouse is watching, tell them to text you and tell you what's going on.
Well, yeah, that's true. If anybody in my race team friends are tuned in, send us a text and let me know what is your work schedule currently.
And you know who you are.
Yes. Tom Robinson says, yes, I'd rather watch paint dry than watch iRacing. LOL and ditto. River Rat, I think that's Dickie Dennis, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's his alias. His alias is River Rat. So he don't want us to know that he's the one that climbed the fence at Richmond in 2014 and
Or
got,
maybe he lives close to the river and he likes to
yeah, that's
hang
it.
out at the river.
And he got accosted by the police for climbing the fence in Richmond. That's a good story. You know, I'm gonna have him call in one of these days when I get this figured out, where y'all can actually hear. I don't know. I mean, I took a picture of the board the way I had it set up. I'm still a little bit aggravated by this, but you know, it is what it is. Why couldn't I hear?
Maybe you just need to test scheduling it going live.
Yeah.
Instead of just going live.
Right. Instead of like
That might
today.
make a difference.
Yeah, maybe so, because I did it today. Okay, and so elsewhere, the Wood Brothers Racing this is kind of a cool deal. I found out about this today. Wood Brothers Racing is donating tablets for senior citizens and people with medical conditions.
I saw that.
Yeah, so they can keep in contact with family during the virus outbreak.
Because the nursing homes are on lockdown.
They're on lockdown. People can't come see them.
We can't even deliver packages to them.
Is that right?
We have to take it and put it outside the door and leave and then have them come retrieve it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean,
James Dennis says he just called you.
He just called me.
James Dennis?
Oh, okay. I don't know. He just, I don't know. I didn't get a call. Missed it. Missed that call. Well, call again.
867-5309.
Yeah, there you go. That's the number. Yes, that's it. All right, so, yeah, so the Wood Brothers has donated $1,500 to purchase tablets for a local nursing home in Stewart, Virginia. They'd already purchased 8, having such a great turnout, they're expanding their facilities. Each $10 donation will come in with a thank you note from Matt Benedetto and Wood Brothers. Very cool. So if you'd like to help out, you can go to the Wood Brothers Racing store online and make your donation to purchase a tablet for the elderly. And so that's it.
Anybody that's in different states than us, is your state doing something special?
Is your state doing something special? Yeah. So our county in Iredell County here in Statesville had just got the first case of the coronavirus diagnosed this evening.
It wasn't me, I promise.
No, I was just looking at you like that because you had a little bit of a dry cough there earlier. So, on March 12, 2020, NASCAR has laid out plans for the Folds of Honor Quick 500 race at Atlanta Motor Speedway in light of the coronavirus outbreak. They have basically canceled all other sports. There was an excitement in the air as they were going to show the race and just not have fans in the stands, which I thought would be a great idea, just because. I mean, I say that it's two different ways to look at it. One is that it would be good because the TV ratings would be sky high because there's nothing else to draw people away from.
That's River Road.
From the is it okay? Oh, that makes sense. Yes.
Have no content.
Oh, yes. Okay. That's an alias, I guess you could say. But anyways, they were going to show the race, and I thought that would be great because no other sporting events on TV, and you could just tune in and watch the race if you're going to, you planned on watching basketball or whatever sport. I don't watch any other sports, so I don't even know what's playing right now. But you watch a race, the ratings would be through the roof. But you're not going to have fans in the stands, so yeah, that's one of those things. It was kind of, so they ended up, I guess you could say, they pretty much had to make the decision to not have the race because you couldn't have fans in the stands, so the tracks weren't going to make their money.
Well, that wouldn't seem real just to watch it on TV and have spectators.
Yeah, so, but they took the precautions to keep the drivers, teams, media, and fans safe from the virus. So, no driver meets and greets, but rather Q&A, no first-hand autographs, but rather sign here first. All right, so yes, we're having the Hamm the Engine Man, the Hamm I Am live chat, NASCAR live chat with you folks, and we're safely in the WAME studio, and y'all are safely in the computer in your homes, and we're able to do this and still talk about NASCAR. How's that sound? All right, so but then came the blow. That would be the race, but no fans in the grandstands. Fans who had traveled all over, had purchased tickets, booked flights, hotels, and expenses, food and gas, and were told to go home. But teams were at the track unloading. Fans were excited in spite of not being able to physically get to attend the race, and that they were at least going to get to watch the race being televised. So there's how that went. And that was that. I'm on the read the rest of this. So,
River said he called the station number.
oh, he did. Well, here's the problem there, River Rat. I, for whatever reason,
Don't know how to push the buttons right.
I mean, I just don't get it.
He has
It's
a
like,
problem pushing buttons.
I had it working perfectly fine.
Only
Really.
when it's not convenient
Yeah.
to push the buttons
Well,
right.
here's yeah. I mean, it very well could be that when you go back and watch this video, you're going to be able to hear.
Hopefully.
Hopefully so. Yes.
Hopefully. Last time it wasn't. But
Yeah.
maybe you push something else different this time.
Yeah. Well, the bad thing is I took a picture of it and it still didn't work. Oh, sorry about
that. It has
that.
something to do with it being scheduled.
Maybe that's it.
I'm not, a genius, mega mind like you, but
Yeah, that could be.
I think
Right.
logic sometimes.
All right. So NASCAR gave the bad news and teams packed up and returned to their respective shops. First, some NASCAR teams closed due to the coronavirus or cut back to skeleton crews. As we were mentioning earlier, Hendricks is closed for the rest of the week. Those who can work from home will. Gibbs closed Monday and will decide what to do the rest of the week, as Jenna mentioned. Petty closed the rest of the week. Starcom sent workers home Monday. Stuart Haas is closed until the 22nd. Penske closed shop. And colleague is limited. Yeah, Penske closed shop. So I sent Rusty Adams a text earlier and asked him if he wanted to call in. He didn't respond. So I'm assuming
Probably doesn't have signal.
he doesn't have a signal.
Blue Valley.
Right, and I don't think he tuned into the Monday Country Ham Jam today either. So I missed that, seeing him on there. So I'm thinking he's not. He may have just decided to pack up and go down to Florida. Who knows?
Or with him not being at work, he probably didn't have.
Yeah. All right. Well, good deal. You can block that. So. Gander Outdoor Truck Series driver Brett Moffitt, driver of the number 23 truck for GMS Racing, is recovering from surgery following an accident Saturday on a motocross, which he suffered a fracture in both legs. Rehabilitation is set for 6 to 8 weeks. See, that's something that a lot of the team owners do not want their drivers to go out and get hurt. It's bad enough if you're in a grocery store and someone's pushing a buggy into your back of your foot.
That's because that's their money.
Yes, and that's what.
Base of the company.
Well, you saw where Chip Ganassi got on to Denny Hamlin, right, about his driver being. Denny Hamlin was pushing the buggy into the back of his driver's foot, and he did not like that whatsoever. Kyle Larson was pushing a buggy right in front of Hamlin. Yes, and I mean. Yeah, and that's like, okay, if you break Kyle Larson's ankle, what how's that going to work out?
Pedal.
Yeah. Tom says, I'm still at my shop, so if you want to come help me paint another cat dozer, David, come on out. Well, you know what? I've got a cat dozer that I need painted, so how about you come down here?
We still have a 4-post lift that needs to be painted too,
Oh,
FYI.
Yeah, you got that right. You know what? I'm going to actually.
Anybody got a sandblaster?
Well, and that's a good idea. I think I'm going to get started on that this week. I need to get with Tom and figure out what paint I need. Okay, so we're going to do a little driver bio here. How about this? We're going to do a classic, and I'm going to ask you a quiz question right quick just to see if you know what driver this is.
My quiz question.
Well, my quiz question is, he drove the winningest car number in NASCAR history. I'm pretty sure that number was the winningest car number. Now, it's not the winningest driver, but the winningest car number. And he was the driver back in the late 70s and to the mid 80s, I would say. And then later on in the years, he had his own racing team. And while y'all are thinking about that, and he actually had his own racing team, and it was right up here about 3 miles from where we're at right now. Later. And when I was a kid growing up, his race shop was about 3 miles from where I lived, that I could ride my bicycle by his shop. So there's your hints. See if anybody can.
Someone was home and Moody.
No, it was close to Home and Moody. It was right up the street from Home and Moody off of Dixie Road.
Dixie?
Yeah.
Dixie or Dixie River?
Well, there was Dixie River. Yeah, I guess it would have been Dixie River. Because that was the road that ran over to Walker's Ferry, right?
Was the
In a
winningest
roundabout
car number 11?
Yes, that is it.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, so that's the driver bio we're going to do about that driver. The one one that you would remember the most before the next driver stepped in, that he actually won a lot of races too and had the nickname Jaws. But we're going to do the driver before that. So if that tells you anything. Well, and Scott says Darrell Walt Tips. Yes. Okay, so yeah, so I'd say the hint is, I believe that's D'Lo, but it says Stephen Mosley. So there's your hint. Yeah, and I was going to let them guess that, but Tom says, wow, he still has that four-push lift on the floor. Yeah.
It's not on the floor.
Well, it's all right. Well, I'm working on it. It's okay. That thing's made of thick American steel, and it's going to be there for, I mean, it's going to last for a while. All right, so there's your answer. You got it. It's Cale Yarborough, also known as, his name was William Caleb Yarborough. Did anybody know that?
They called him Willie.
You know what? I had no idea that his name was William. Right, like your grandfather that worked at Hamm and Moody, and they called him Willie. So William Caleb Yarborough, born 1939, March the 27th, 1939, in Timminsville, North Carolina, is a former businessman, former NASCAR driver, and owner. Only one of two drivers to win 3 consecutive championships. He was the second driver to appear on a cover of Sports Illustrated. The first was Curtis Turner. I believe he won, I thought he won 2, and then it skipped, and then he won another one. So I'm not sure. I thought that was the deal. I mean, I've been a Cale Yarborough fan from way back in the day. Well, right here it says wins Cup champion 76, 77, 78. I guess I was wrong. That might have been another driver I was thinking about. So
Scott says Willie C.
Willie Cale. So IROC champion in 1984. He holds the modern era record for winning the most poles in the Cup Series with 14 that is, awards. Most popular driver in the 1967 Grand National Series, International Motorsports Hall of Fame 93, 3-time National Motorsports Association Driver of the Year, Talladega Walk of Fame 96, one of NASCAR's top 50 drivers in 98, NASCAR Hall of Fame 2012, and NASCAR Cup. Cale ran 560 races for over 31 years. His first race was in the 1957 Darlington 500, and 83 wins, 319 top 10, and 69 poles. He was an impressive dude, and he was really short, small guy, but he was aggressive. Cale's 83 wins tie him with Jimmy Johnson, 6th in line for the all-time Cup wins. Did anybody think that Jimmy Johnson's going to beat that record? Because this is his last year to do so. That would mean that he would have to it's dominant. Okay, so all right, so the other things that Cale did, he made the he won the Daytona 400. Daytona 400? Okay. 4 times. I guess back then it was 4 times, 1968, 77, 83, and 1984. He made his first attempt at the Southern 500 as a teenager by lying about his age, but he was caught and disqualified by NASCAR. So I wonder how old he was. So Yarborough started in 1963 with a full-time ride, but soon signed on to drive for Herman Beam. His best finish was 5th at Myrtle Beach. In 1964, he drove half of the season for Beam, but moved over to Hamm and Moody. He finished 6th at North Wilkesboro, finished the year 19th in points. So I guess he did have something to do with the Hamm and Moody there. In 1966, he drove for Banjo Matthews, but in spite of two second-place finishes, he left the team and went on to drive for Wood Brothers, and he won 2 races in 1967. All right, so I'll see if y'all have any questions there. In 1968, he won his first Daytona 500 in a duel with Leroy Yarborough in the Firecracker 400, making him the second driver in NASCAR history to win both Daytona races. So I guess that was the 400 races were in the July races. 1969, Ford produced Cale Yarborough a special edition Mercury Cyclone spoiler 2. It was outfitted with a special aerodynamic front end. There was only 1 engine choice available, a 351 cubic inch Windsor. So at the end of the 1970 season, Cale was released after Ford withdrew factory support for NASCAR teams. In 71, he drove for Ray Fox. He drove the Indianapolis 500. 1972, he drove for James Hilton and ended the season driving for Hoss Ellington. He also ran his final Indy 500. That was 1972. 1974, Kell won a career high 10 races but lost the championship by 600 points. Midway through the season, Kell's team was bought by Junior Johnson. And despite the 1974 season, the team began in 1975 without major sponsorship and missed 3 races. Then the Holly Farms came on board, and he won 3 races and finished 19 points. Now, that Holly Farms car is the one I remember the most, besides the Hardy's car. Do you remember that? The Hardy's car or the Holly Farms? That was the one back in the 70s. It was that was my favorite car back then. I like Kel Yarborough. I don't know. I just like Kel Yarborough for some reason.
It wasn't the car, it was the driver.
It was the driver at that point, and he was winning, and he ended up winning the 3 championships. And then David Pearson was my other favorite driver, but I liked him mostly because he had the same name as I did, and he was the one that was always battling with Richard Petty and also Kel.
I think my dad had something to do with Kel, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, he's talked about Kel quite a bit whenever we've been around him. I should have him on here one of these days with me. I think, yeah, your dad for sure. I think what I'm going to have to do, and so that it'll just eliminate the problems with the phone, is to just have everybody come in and be a guest. And once we get into the new studio, it's gonna be a game changer. So we're gonna have so much better. Everything's gonna be better, and we'll actually be able to have people sit out here and watch the show, and maybe they can have some way of secretly passing questions or something. Somehow. All right, so despite his successful 1974 season, the team began, I think I said that, so Holly Farms came on board. 1976, he won 9 races, including 4 in a row, and won that his first championship. 77, he repeated his 9 wins, finished every race, and was in the last 14 races, did not finish outside the top 6, earning him his 2nd championship. And then in 78, he won 10 races and his 3rd consecutive title. And then also the other reason. Okay, so in 79, I was watching the Daytona 500 as a kid. We had a big console TV, we had a little TV on top of it. And I remember walking through the living room, and there was a fight breaking out between Kel and Donnie and Bobby Allison. And I've since talked to Kel about it. I didn't talk to Kel about it. I talked to Bobby, of course. And he's like, you know what? That was the changing point in NASCAR. That's whenever people started watching it. That was the first televised NASCAR race that was televised live. And the fight broke out, and it brought so much attention to the sport. And then when I asked Donnie about it in a separate conversation, a separate day, this was over at Hut's barn,
Yes.
and Donnie was saying that, I asked him if he was the one that always started the fights, whatever. He would say, I didn't start the fights, but I finished.
That's right.
He said,
Take up for his brother.
And he said Donnie got, whenever he was a kid, I guess he got picked on a lot. And he said one time he just had enough of it. He punched the kid right in the nose. And he said nobody ever messed with him from then on. Yep. And he said that he was the one that always, Bobby would pick the fights and then he would finish them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much it. So in 1979, Kel got into a fight with Bobby and Donnie Allison after the Daytona 500 when Donnie and Kel wrecked while racing for the lead on the final lap. This was the first NASCAR race to be televised. The confrontation and exciting race are credited with starting the mass growth of NASCAR. See, that's what we need. We need some more fights.
Not true.
Without NASCAR saying, you're fined $50,000 for saying that. No, just let them do whatever they need to do.
I
attention
don't
to the
know
sport.
if that's the answer, but
Yeah.
they do need to do something to increase it. Like I said, my theory is no more restrictions.
Yeah. Gloves off. In 1980, he won a career high 14 poles, 6 wins. He lost out on winning his 4th title to Dale Earnhardt by 19 points. So that would have been something to win 4 titles for him in a row. All right, so at the end of the season, Kel finished up what would be his final full season. 1981, he ran 18 races with 10 top 10s. And in 82, he ran 16 races, winning 3. 83, he moved to Rainier Lundy to drive the number 28 Hardy's car, competing in 16 events and won 4 races. That was the Hardy's car that I really liked. In 84, he won his fourth Daytona 500, becoming the second driver to win back-to-back. He also won Talladega, a race that had 75 lead changes. Holy cow.
That's a lot.
Yeah. In 85, he won his final race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. In 86, he won his final pole. So there you go. Part 2, in 87, he left Ranier Lundy and bought Jack Ivy's Race Hill Farm Team. I don't remember that name at all. And changed the name to Kelly Yarborough Motorsports. Yeah, I'm not sure. That may be a misspelling, but he had taken the Hardy sponsorship with him. So he retired from driving in 88. Kel then had the drivers John Andretti, Jeremy Mayfield, Dick Trickle, and Lake Speed. He closed the team in 2000. And that was when I said it was actually up here. So, all right, so we're going to open it up to questions. Anybody have any questions or comments? Leave them in the news feed right here, and we will read them aloud. Buddy Baker singing James R. Dennis here. I like that. So, have you seen a NASCAR Goes Country?
Is it a movie?
I have not seen that. And what is that? NASCAR Goes Country? Because we have a NASCAR Country Facebook page. Check it out if you would, and give us a like over there. And also, while you're on Facebook, go to you can go on to WAME Real Country 92.9, check that out, or the WAME Chillies and Hamscapes, all that good stuff. So Rachel says, I would add what David said too about the fan friendliness with Wi-Fi and ways to connect. Yes, at the racetrack, I think that would be a really good thing for NASCAR to do, would be to add ways for people to connect. So you think about it, you take your kid to the racetrack, and I know everybody's thinking, well, they don't need to be on their phone anyway. But the way things are nowadays, kids have to be connected outside. And if they're there and their best friends not with them, whatever, it's also a form of free advertising. If your daughter, son, whatever, they're able to get on there and post a little video or post a picture of themselves at the, let's say, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Look how cool this is, a selfie, and they can post it right then, or they can post a little video. It's free advertising. Then all their friends are going to see it on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and they're going to say, you know what, next time I'm going to that race. Think about it. What do you think there, Tracy?
It's a possibility.
Well, I know how most people like to stay connected. I mean, I'm one myself. I like to, if I'm enjoying myself and I see, if I'm somewhere that I think this is really cool,
yeah,
I'll post something, or I'll take a picture and I'll say, you know what, I'm going to post this later.
Or go live.
Yeah, or go live. So, but like I said, that's free advertisement for the racetrack, for the venue, or whatever. And sponsors are seen on that video. So it's free advertising for if you're showing a Miller beer can. Well, you know what I'm saying. So it goes for adults too. But what Rachel says, what would you? Okay, James Dick Dennis. He says
it's a movie.
He says yes, it's a movie. So that's cool. Rachel says, what would you recommend to NASCAR in dealing with the coronavirus? I think everybody probably should just sit back, chill out.
Do you think that they should have canceled the races?
Well, at this point, what if they went on with it and everybody else is canceling? I mean, the way that things are right now,
all sports pretty much have.
They have, yeah. But the thing about the other sports is they just canceled. NASCAR has just postponed. They're not canceling. They're gonna still do the events. They're just having to put it back for a little bit until. So anyway. All right. So yes, but I think that they're probably doing what they need to do. I mean, it's hard for me to say. I was kind of excited they were going to run the race, but I was really surprised because they're not putting fans in the stands. And the fans in the stands is a big part of it, because how's the track going to make their money?
True.
But
then think of how much they would have lost if everybody would have been sick.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
Because you're really confined.
Yeah, the coronavirus. Here's the thing. I honestly think that if we could have stopped the flu, we've had flu epidemics, and it's every year. I mean, thousands and thousands of people, but you don't hear about it. You hear about, get your flu shot and all this stuff. What if we just do, let's say we take some other, well, I'm not going to get in that, but if we just say, okay, let's just step back, take some time off, take a couple weeks. This thing's got a little dormant period of 2 weeks. It's got where it kind of.
And the warmer weather too.
And then the weather's going to be warm, and then it'll just go away. Like some of the viruses we've had in the past. All right, so.
Well, the thing with the coronavirus, one of the persons I work with made a comment that probably nobody's thought of. This is coronavirus 19.
Mm-hmm.
He says there must have been 18 other strands prior to that.
Well, I mean, if you look on that, that Lysol bottle there, that spray can, if it's in
Already
there,
has it printed on there.
it's got coronavirus on it, yes. Scott says the racing on the track, the last 4 races, as great as it's ever been, supply and demand. If there's going to be a shortage of NASCAR when it comes back, it should be sold out. Yes, absolutely. I believe that is going to happen, no doubt. All right, Buddy Baker, bowl of butter beans. James Dennis. All right, so if the season ended, Joey would be the 2020 champ. You get tongue-tied with that. Joey Logano would be the 2020 champ if the season ended right now. Yes, it would.
If I saw we were reading that, I would have read it for you since you're having trouble.
Oh, yeah. I bet Martinsville sells out. Yes, I agree with that. Shell, yeah, Terry, 2 for the 22. And that says Rachel Rodman. Hope you all have a lonely, happy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Oh, it is tomorrow. Yeah, I guess we're just going to be celebrating.
Even Ireland canceled their St. Patty's.
Well, there's going to be one down at Delaney's. We'll have
It's going to be canceled.
You think? Okay.
50 people now.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. It is up to 50. So first night race plus all the virus outbreak. It's going to be a great weekend here. So just got an email. Bristol has postponed until later days. Oh my. And the date was not announced. So yeah, we're just going to take some time off. Merle Fest was canceled here up in Wilkes County. A little disappointed about that. That's going to be an opportunity to have some backstage passes and meet Willie Nelson and the family, Allison Krause. Yeah. But that's the way it goes. And maybe next year we'll come back, do it, and make it happen next year.
Bigger and better.
Yep. All right. So everybody, if you don't mind hitting that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification, follow me. You can find me on dhamim.com. And then also check out Hamm the Engine Man podcast, NASCAR Country on the Facebook and the Twitter, dhamim on Twitter also. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to ask any more questions, make any more comments.
Good day, mate.
We're going to, yes, good day, mate. That's if you haven't heard my commercial here on WAME, it's I always do the whole good day, mates thing because my grandmother was from Australia and my dad was made in Australia. So Rachel says, thank you, Dave, Tracy and David.
Thank you, Rachel.
And yep, thanks everybody for tuning in. And we'll be back thinking next Monday we'll find some things to talk about.
Scott's headed out on his boat, rubbing it in.
Gosh, I know, how nice would that be? Be down in Daytona and going out on the boat. Paul's down there in Florida also. RD's, it says Night All. He's up there in Michigan, I believe it is. Paul says the racing so far has been great, but if you think about it, the current aero package allows the leader to check out of the field on the field. Yeah, that's for sure. My seat row for the BK and seat 22 Logano Heart Group. So that's Elo. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and thank y'all. We will see y'all probably next week. We'll see. Stay tuned. But if I'm not talking about NASCAR, we'll find something to talk about. I'm sure there'll be some type of news, and I can always do the driver bios. Updates on what's going on with NASCAR and the driver.
Maybe some dates.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. All righty. Well, it's good to see you there, River Rat, Dickie, and James R. Dennis. Alias.
Too many aliases there, buddy.
Oh man, Scott says play your Delaney's commercial.
I don't think we can do it on here.
Let's see. I wonder if I have that on this computer. But knowing how this thing plays, I don't even know.
He's trying to be Irish.
I don't even know if I can play it. Yep. See, I'm playing, but it's not playing. But let's see what this is. That's a computer.
What if you turn the mics off like you do?
Yeah, that's what I would have to do.
We can quit talking for a second.
Yeah, let's see if this will work.
Used it for a doorstop for 3 years until his dad, John Reed, took it to a jeweler who gave
That's
That
the
didn't
wrong one.
work.
Well, you could probably hear it through the mic, but that was actually my commercial for the Carolina Prospectors. I don't know if I have my commercial for. I
It's on this
emailed it
one.
to myself. It's on what?
It's on this computer, right?
Yeah, it's on this computer, but if I play it on that computer, it's going to be playing on the air. So I don't, and it's not, right now it's playing a song, it's playing I Left Something Turned On at Home by 2 Seconds.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, you know what? I need to get that commercial. Maybe put all of them on here. So, but yeah, thanks everybody. And Scott, we'll see you, buddy. Have a good time out there on the boat. And Jana, thanks for tuning in. See you guys. Yep, see
We
you in a
miss
few
you
weeks.
guys already.
Yeah, we'll see you in a few weeks. So hopefully everything will work out there and we'll get to travel and all that stuff. So
I don't think we'll be banned from driving.
yeah, probably not. I'm not getting on an airplane though. I'll tell you that. I'm just saying.
No.
No need that.
Even though you can fly to Vegas for $44.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah, happy St. Patty's Day, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next time.